Welcome to my bathroom. This video is going to show you how to clean these dreads. Now these are the dreads that I've worn previously. I'm going to show you how to clean them properly. Now the main reason why you want to clean dreads like this, especially when you braid them in your head, is more for like sanitary kind of things. You hear a lot about people getting like sores and cuts and stuff like that when they have dreads in from scratching because, well, they get kind of itchy sometimes and you tend to scratch. Well, that's not good when the dreads are actually not clean. If you just made them and they're brand spanking new, you can go ahead and braid them in and they'll be perfectly fine. But when you've had a set like this that are about 3 years old, you need to wash them, and you need to wash them regularly. Now, how I do this is with a tub like this. It's already full of hot water. Ow. It's already full of water. I'm going to show you how to make a solution to put in this. Now, I'm going to go through this first. You want to soak the dreads first in the water with a part solution of tea tree oil to kill any bacteria or bugs on your dread if you wear them and not wash them. And the tea tree oil also helps sanitize the dreads and gets rid of any unwanted stuff on it. Just because if you don't, like say I didn't wash these and I just continually braided them in my hair, I would end up with either a rash or a staph infection on my scalp. Now, the only way you can get staph infections from this, I don't want this to scare you, like it's not, like it only happens if they're like, if you never wash your hair and you scratch compulsively and you end up getting pus and stuff, that will eventually turn into a staph infection. So you want to make sure that the dreads are clean when you braid them in. So that's why I do this. You won't necessarily get a staph infection if you don't braid them, like if you don't clean them, but it's like I recommend you clean them once every 2 times you wear them, or once every time you wear them. Now after, like I have several sets of dreads, so I don't just wear the black ones all the time. I have like blue, green, all other colors that I wear on a regular basis, and these ones are generally the ones that I wear the most often, so they are the ones that get washed the most. Now after you wash them, you want to let them dry on a towel, and then you can soak them again to rinse out any shampoo or soap, and then you can reseal them just to make sure that, you know, they keep their shape from after you wash them. This is just how I wash them. There's no wrong way, there's no right way. This is just how I do it. So hopefully you get stuff out of this video. If not, just know that it is good to wash your dreads every other time or whatever. Just as long as they're clean, as long as your hair is clean, you won't have any problems. This is tea tree oil. What I'm going to do is put a couple drops in the water here. Just hit it like a couple times. I always do like 3 or 4. And then what you need is a dandruff shampoo. I'm using Head and Shoulders. This stuff, right? It's very nice. You don't want to put a lot in here because it defeats the purpose of washing your dreads if you add too much shampoo. So only use like that much. This water's kind of hot, so mix it up like that, and take your dreads like this. Take the elastic off. Make sure you can see. Now there's some double enders in here, so you want to separate those out first. Like, nice job, Jesse. You should have done this before you started filming. Good job. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Now, what you want to do is just like if your dreads are about 2 feet long like these ones are, it's okay to have them hang off the side, The area that you want to focus the most is close to the top of the dread where the knot is. That area is generally the area that has the most residue from shampoos, sprays, or whatever. And you just want to, shake it around a bit like that. Now, when you get in here, I'll just pull this one out. What you really want to focus on is this area right here where the loop is, because that is the area where dandruff will stay. Now, the rest of this dread, as you can see where the dents are, is where my hair was resting when it was braided in. Now, that's the area that you want to focus on, because that's the area that has the most residue from when your hair was braided in, and if you do wash your dreads, when you wear them, when they're installed into your hair, that is the area that you want to focus on the most. The bottom part, not so much, because that's, doesn't really have any residue, doesn't really have dandruff or anything. What you want to focus on is the very tip of the dread where it meets the scalp and where most of the dandruff is. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see inside of this, I'll just dry my hands, but the water is definitely a lot cloudier than it was a couple seconds ago. Now, you can't really see the top of the water, but there is little particles, white particles, and that are dandruff. That is the dandruff coming off of the hair. Now, you pull it out like so, and this just helps get rid of excess dirt and residue from the dread. Now you want to put the whole dreads in there, into the water, shake it around, pull them out. This also gets rid of any odors and stuff like that. As you can see, the water has now changed color from what it was. A nice clear color to whatever. Generally, you want all of your dreads together in a bundle and not, falling out like mine are. Like that. It's really easy, doesn't really take that long. That one's a double under. See it? Just slosh it around like that. Now, generally after you wash your dreads, you're going to want to reseal them, because some of the seal will come off. As you can see, this one's okay because it was sealed properly and properly backcombed. I see with a lot of people commenting on my Facebook that the seal isn't holding. Well, that's because you haven't backcombed the whole dread properly. Now, when the backcomb is full and proper, there should be no unsealing going on. Like, there should be no puffing out of the dread at all. As you can see, you want to make sure that there is no residue. As you can see, there's no more dandruff in there, and that's because of the dandruff shampoo that we used. That, and after you wash them, they smell lovely. I don't know about you, but the smell of tea tree oil is just amazing. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to move this because we have to dump the water. Now you want to fill it with warm water, that way the dread doesn't unfurl or anything like that, and it relieves any other residue that's left in the dread. Now this is just rinsing out the leftover soap and other whatever residue that may still be in the dread after you wash them. Essentially what you want to do is beat the shit out of your dreads in the tub. That's pretty much what you want to do. Just make sure that you beat the fuck out of them. That way any and all residue ends up at the bottom of the tub and you can just flush it out and then rinse them. That's essentially what we're going for. Now, take the dreads and put them back into the water, like so. They look like snakes. That's okay. Now all this is doing is just rinsing off any of the excess soap and residue. And after this, you can just reseal them, and that's really easy, especially when you have single-ended dreads. You can just use a jean hook, like the one on my dread chair, and just loop the dread in, seal it very fast, and there you go. And don't forget to okay. Now, get the towel ready because you're going to need it. Ah, fuck. La da da, la da dee, la da da. Yeah. Now the reason we're setting them out flat like this is so after they're dry, you can reseal them when they're wet like this, but you can seal them right after you're done washing them. That's actually what I would recommend, just because they're already really soaked and it wouldn't take that long to reseal them, just because they've already been sealed before. But yeah. Now, welcome back, my dread-making friends. Now, as you can see, those are the dreads that I washed. They're still wet. I just transported them from my bathroom to my living room. To reseal, you want to make sure you have you want to make sure that you don't have a carpet floor, and you want to make sure you have a towel that's pretty dry, a dread chair. This kind of hanger I recommend. It's a jean hanger. This just makes it easier to loop the dreads on to seal them. You're going to need your flat iron and a water bottle, a sprayer bottle. Maybe you might need this. If your dreads are still soaking wet, you won't need it, and they should be fine. But if they're starting to get dry, then you want to spray them a bit to reseal them so they're beautiful again. And you'll also need not a portfolio case, but this. This is a clothing drying rack thing. Mine is yellow, just like the lighting in this room. But yeah, I use this and I just lay my dreads down on it so they can dry, and then I put this back in the tub so if they're still wet from getting sealed, they can just drip into the tub and not ruin my carpet. Okay guys, resealing dreads is very simple and easy. I'm going to show you how to do a little one, and then I'll show you how to do a double-ended one. They're essentially the same. Now, you just slide it on like that, kind of like how we curled it before, if you watched that tutorial, that is. Now this dread is getting a little dry, so you just want to spray it a little. Make sure they're nice and wet. They should be pretty wet when after you wash them. But if they're, dry, getting dry, then just add just a little bit more water. Sealing them, pretty much the exact same. And this goes for any kind of dread, actually. You want to be careful when you wash candy cane dreads, because they may come apart. But that's fine, you end up with two different colored curly dreads. And yeah, there is one resealed dread. Look how beautiful that is. I think that lovely. Now that was a previously worn, this dread is 3 years old. One of the first that I ever made, and you can tell because of the loop. But yeah, that's how you reseal a single-ended dread. Now let me find a double-ended dread here. This one's kind of wonky. You're going to need a clip like this, like how I sealed them before. And what you want to do is have them on evenly onto the hook. This is pretty much like a recap of how to seal your dreads. If you haven't seen those, it should be okay. It's still damp, but it needs to get a little bit more wet. Just damp it. Make sure you have your flat iron by your side. And just straight down. Now when you reseal your dreads, you don't have to focus on them as much as you do when you first make them, because they've already been sealed and they should be okay. And there's one side. Ow, my god. Flat iron just fell on my foot. Nice job, Jesse. Nice fucking job, you idiot. Now, loosely put this on, because it was just sealed. Don't snap your fingers on the thing. Blah. Just put that in there. Now, twist it. Soak it. And seal it. That should be a motto. Twist it, soak it, and seal it. But first of all, backcomb it, because that's the most important part of the dread, I feel. See, it doesn't matter how sleek and silky your dreads are. If you didn't backcomb them properly, they're going to look like shit. But yeah, that's just me talking out of my ass right now. La da da, la da dee. And, oh my god, oh no, oh fuck, okay. And then, that's how you reseal a double-ended dread. Pretty much same fucking thing, same fucking shit, just repeated. They'll end up looking more sleek than they did before. They won't have as many flyaways just because you got rid of them when you first sealed them. But essentially that's what you're going for. Nice, sleek dread. Let's get close up on that. Yeah. Nice, sleek dread. This one's really old. One of the first sets I made before I made my knot thing. But yeah, that's essentially what you want them to look like. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like my Facebook page if you haven't. If you do decide to use my tutorials to make dreads, please post pictures. I love seeing them. If you have any problems at all, let me know. You can message me on my Facebook page, because I always check it. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And this is what you should have when you're done. Isn't it glorious?